of fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act in 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or purpose use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All rights and credit go directly to its rightful owners. No copyright infringement intended. Enjoy. Oh yeah, on your way out, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, man. This is the Argument League. Turn up.
You already know what it is, man. It's the boy Suave Boss, man. Snapping Off Entertainment, AOI, SVDL, Argument League. Shout out to being on the track, Z on the Cam, that's Snapping Off Film. Shout out to Solar Mind, the commissioner, Solar Vision Debate League, the greatest debate league in the world, only debate league on YouTube. Shout out to Knowledge Born Allah, Do the Knowledge Radio. Shout out to the AOI, that's Gold, man. Brandon Bay, Holly, Wicked Radical, Ampu, Pro Black, Ground Zero, Hurricane Katrina, The King, James 13, Anti-Bully Inc. Shout out to the judges, the peers of SVDL, and the people, man. Today we got a special event, man. Familiar brother, man. This our big dog right here. This our go-to right here. It ain't nothing to play with, man. We ain't even on no funny style, no Hollywood. This straight fam bam right here, man. He been down in the trenches with us, and he opened the doors and let us look, through the cracks of the windows when he make it up there to the mother slots, so shout out to him, man. I do appreciate his presence on YouTube and in other people's real life personally, because a lot of y'all is just a screen, but things really move around this man. Dr. Enqi in the house, man. Shout out to you, big dog. How you doing, fam?
Oh man, thank you for that warm welcome.
Man, you deserved it. You wrote it with your actions. You wrote it with your actions. I ain't have to make nothing up about you. All I had to do was know you.
I like
that. That's how I go. Man, how you feeling today? First and first, I see that big smile on your face, so I know everything is maintained right now.
Well, I'm happy to be alive always, man. We're in the world of endless possibilities, so you could wake up broke and go to sleep a millionaire.
Oh man, ain't it? Ain't that how I flip? Yeah, well, positive things to you, man. Nothing bad to say about your strength. So we are here to discuss, right? This tip, I've read it. He shot it to me. I read it. I had to read it. And I was like, okay. And y'all know me. Y'all leave them comments with them words. And then I'm going to stay at that word and we're going to break it down together. Right? Okay. But this was an awesome read. I just want to introduce you right quick before we actually dive into it. But it is titled Melanin versus Diabetes and Electromagnetic Tissue. Boom. Wowzers. Melanin. Got me. Got me right there, right? Diabetes. Should have got you. Should have got you at that point. That's where it gets serious, because we all know somebody with diabetes. You might not know what type. You might not know, but whether, and a lot of people are not diagnosed with this too. Also, a lot of men don't really check on themselves and go to the doctor regularly and wonder why they foot always falling asleep or tingling and all these aching pains that you deal with all day. So that should have got you. And electromagnetic tissue. Now that right there, that sounds kind of superpowerish to me. So you got me, man. Electromagnetic tissue. Now what pops out, honestly, for me as a person, when I first looked at it, was right there. That's what I got it. Like that did something, because that was real. I was like, hold on, Chase. Okay, hold on. See, how that DJ Khaled let his son get like a feature on the chorus, so press a couple keys so he get them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to showing us how to do it.
Oh,
shout out to showing us how to do it, man.
Yeah, I done had I've wrote at least a book or article with every one of my children. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when I'm dead and gone, they still got a plan. They still got a program.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to spotlight you for a minute, man. And let me see what that has to say.
Make America great again.
Damn it. Shout out to Enqi, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Enqi.
I gotta make sure that every opportunity I get, I hold everybody accountable that voted for Joe Biden. That motherfucker ain't been in office for 12 months yet. And already he done turned everything upside down. Black folks' pockets is empty.
It's different this year.
What? Niggas is sick, niggas is dying, niggas businesses is doing bad. The I'm buying detergent from the supermarket for $14. Gas prices is looking like a motherfucking mortgage payment. So as people pointing the finger at Biden saying Biden fucking up, I'm pointing the finger at the niggas who put him in there saying no, that's not how this works. Biden's not fucking up. You niggas that enabled and empowered Biden is fucking up. So you don't get to vote for Biden because see that what people think is because they go in the curtain, you know, in the booth and nobody get to see what they're doing in there. They think that they get to walk away from the vote later on with no responsibility. No, nigga. You put him in there. So all these vaccine mandates and all this shit going on and all this goofy shit that's happening, you niggas gotta wear it. You gotta get t-shirts that say, I voted for him.
Absolutely. That should be on your driver's license.
Man, all this shit going on is with you niggas. So all of your goofy niggas saying, oh, my job, I don't want to take the shot. But you voted for the shot by voting for Biden. I don't want to pay these high prices in gas. But you voted for the high prices in gas when you voted for Biden. I don't want to pay fucking $14 for detergent. I didn't vote for Biden. See, that's why I get to talk shit now to you goofy ass niggas for the next 48 months.
Forever. He's the last president. They will. Okay, let me stop. Okay, Ed, thank you for that. And we all know you for the 40-day food fast. Yeah. How's that going? What's the update on that, man?
You know, I honestly didn't do one this year because I was focused on this year on just getting the information out about you know what I learned from all, you know, for the better part of 10 years of running the 40-day food fast. I was like, okay, it's time to really get this information out because one of the things that really fucked me up is all of the hate. And I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't you know, I probably need to discuss this more because I'm only thinking of it now that we having this Biden conversation about responsibility. I sat back and I'm like, damn, how many people's lives, because we know that most of the casualties from the pandemic was Black folks. How many lives could have been saved if niggas would have been resharing and if I would have went viral? If niggas would have reshared my shit everywhere, if every Black person we know would have shared my shit, if every one of these holistic healers that listens to my shit and steals my shit so that they could sell their products and run their little business, if every one of these niggas would have retweeted, re-Instagrammed, re-Facebooked, re-blogged my shit, how many lives would we have saved? Because I told niggas at the inception, maybe I want to say January, February. I said, listen, again, this is a melanin issue. When niggas was running around saying that, you know, because a story had broke out and went viral, that melanin can save you from COVID. So Black people was running around saying, I'm immune because I'm Black. I said, no, that's the exact opposite. Melanin does play a role in this, but your melanin is going to make you a target. And this shit is going to wind up where most of the people that die from this is going to be Black folks. And they was like, yo, come on, Enqi, you don't know what you're talking about. Yo, this is bigger than that. This shit's going worldwide. Everybody getting this shit. I was like, all right, you watch. You don't understand how this works. You don't understand how your body works. And because you niggas have so much self-hate, you don't want to see me do well. So your fear of me personally doing well, you would rather let people die around you. Because if motherfuckers knew that the ACE2 protein that everybody talk about, that the ACE2 protein that everybody flipping and bouncing, the ACE2 proteins are regulated by melanin. See, niggas don't understand this shit. That's why this shit is even bigger than diabetes. It's just that diabetes is the platform. But your kid, how much black folks on fucking dialysis? How much black folks got liver problems and they face is looking swollen? The bottom of their hand, their fingers is looking swollen. Like, how many black folks look like this? This shit is nuts.
Organ swole.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that's how this shit goes. Melanin regulates the ACE2 protein. If niggas had been on game back then, we could have saved thousands, if not more, people's lives just by resharing a video, just by resharing a fucking link. You know what I'm saying? Even now with the new article, I'm telling everybody, yo, copy the article, share it to your
It's in the description, man. Y'all make sure y'all grab that. I'll be rotating it on Instagram and things like that, you know, to make sure. So
of course, Swab, of course, you know, I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm saying we got a lot of people. Like, for instance, this video might have 100 viewers, 200 viewers, 500, 1,000, whatever. How many of those people are going to copy and paste the article to their pages, copy and paste it to their blogs, or if they got platforms, how many of them is going to contact and be like, yo, I need Enqi to come tell my audience that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, this shit that I'm talking about, first of all, it can't come from nowhere else. It has to come from me because it's my firsthand research. So it can't come from somewhere else. You can't get a shiny suit nigga. You can't get a nigga from Harvard to teach it. You can't get a nigga from, because it's mine.
It's your own critical thoughts, research, study, and compile.
Quantitative, qualitative, mixed methods, mine. You know what I'm saying? So you can't, like, the only thing we can do is say, you know what? Fuck this nigga. I don't like him. Nigga got gold teeth. That's not what a real doctor look like. So, you know, you go into your feelings, and guess what happens? Your auntie pass away. Your grandma pass away. Your uncle pass away. Your son, your daughter, your cousin, your lover, your baby mama, your father, your coworker. All because you didn't pass them the information because you worried about how it's going to impact my life. Oh, yeah, fuck that. I ain't trying to see Enqi. Enqi might be trying to come up off this shit. So, you know, niggas is looking like full-time fucking goofballs as motherfuckers is dropping dead around us. And this shit don't stop. It's going to keep happening and happening and happening.
And they selling rocks. They're trying to stop the information that'll actually heal somebody so that you don't surpass them in this field.
Imaginary.
Because they selling rocks and
it's
coil.
imaginary.
Okay.
It's imaginary because most of the holistic healers that's out, you know, running around, at least definitely on the, in America, most of them are all my students. Whether we're talking about the Atlanta scene, whether we're talking about California, like these are my students. You know what I'm saying? If you read Chef Aki's book, my name is in her book. She says, "Oh, I came up, you know, I was studying Sabi and I was studying Dr. Enqi, and like, so it's not like I haven't been doing this long enough to show and demonstrate or say something, or I'm saying something that's out of the way or something that's, you know, like people don't know already. Everybody watched me do this motherfucking 40-day fruit fast for 10 fucking years. Everybody's seen it. So it's not a matter of, oh yeah, did he really? Nigga, you watched me do this shit for 10 years. So it's just insane to me. Like, we're letting people die because we simply are not willing to fucking click, share, paste, copy. Like, this shit is simple. Hate is killing motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Hate is killing just as many of our hate might be a bit hate. You know, I always say to people, diabetes is the #1 killer of black folks.
Hmm.
Hate might be diabetes only competitor.
Hmm.
Hate might be diabetes only competitor.
And I can't. To me, it's just two different lanes. But I'm sorry, it like merged because people, they speak on the same thing. It's like you go into the science of how nutrients affect the body, and somebody says energy wave, and y'all in the same lane. And to me, that's not the same thing. I mean, respect to both if there's any science behind it, but yeah, no, I haven't been able to respect that lane as much as the work you've been doing. So thank you for that. And you being, a lot of people coming up under you, either through books or through your lectures or, any of your publishings, things like that. Yeah, that definitely should be honored and respected because we got it. Come on, man. There's higher levels than this, especially for Enqi. So let's get into this because this was very interesting to me. Let me get this page up here. And okay, right here, the title again, melanin versus diabetes, electromagnetic tissue. Okay, and shout out to Dr. Enqi, man, Chase, Falcon, Osiris, some more, and Aubrey. Now, the purpose. Let me go over this for the audience 1 second, please. Purpose to establish the link between metabolic illness and melanin dominant people. Melanin and pheomelanin dominant people are known around the globe to have 200% high risk for type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's, and dementia as melanin recessive people. To make matters worse, Alzheimer's has 15 to 40 year incubation periods, which complicates the illness. With this in mind, our goal was clear: pinpoint the flaws in our biochemistry and neurochemistry that serve as the foundations to these problems, then provide working solutions. And this was an 8 year study y'all conducted. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily like everything. God is kind of driving this car. I'm a passenger in this motherfucker. So things are just coming together that weren't necessarily my plan. So I didn't plan the 40-day fruit fast. The 40-day fruit fast was thrown on me because my guy Diallo from Ohio. Well, he's from Chicago. He don't like me to say he's from Ohio. But he live in Ohio, you know what I'm saying? And he been living in motherfucking Ohio. So you really from Ohio, nigga. But if you see this video, he could be like, nigga, I ain't from fucking Ohio. I'm from Chicago.
Chicago, man.
Yeah. We be having New York, Chicago wars all the time. I'd be like, my nigga, listen. We birthed Michael Jordan. We got Kareem. It's a wrap. Chicago, y'all can't fuck around. So see, if he was claiming Ohio, he'd be able to say, nigga, we got LeBron.
Hey, over with. Man. Shout out to the city though. Shout out to the city. Most definitely.
Yeah, because LeBron is the GOAT to be. 35, 10 and 10 says it all. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's
Okay, so I see this. There is a clear link between metabolic illness and melanin dominant people. That
no,
is.
no. Let me explain how this shit came about because it
Okay,
came about all by itself.
all right.
We was on the road and I was just when I say pigging out, like I was just eating like crazy. You know, he was watching me eat like maybe, two orders of lasagna, 2-3 double cheeseburgers, maybe 4 or 5 different ice creams, 2-3 slices of pie. That's one meal, one sit down. So, just to make it a short story, him saying that I needed to go on a fast is how the fast started. And then I sat down, you know what I'm saying? And then I kind of wrote out the fast and created, the 5 different it's like 5 different fasts or 5 different sections of the fast where we changed the diet, and competition made it start to spread by itself. So he came up with the idea for me to go on the fast. Then just us going back and forth with each other, how we normally do, created competition. Like, oh, okay, well, let's see, let's see if Chicago, Chicago niggas are stronger than Philly niggas. You know what I'm saying? Chicago niggas stronger than New York niggas. So I'm like, nah, nigga, we got discipline, we got fortitude, So that little competition, other places got involved with the fast. Like, hold up, we can do that too, and shit kind of grew legs. The rest of it is just kind of my mind at work. You know what I'm saying? Because I've always been, like science has always been my thing. So as I'm doing the fast on such a wide variety of people, because to date, probably, I only could really track a small amount of the people, like really, really track them. Plus, people aren't really willing to do everything. But we've had, I would say, in the 10 years, easily over 100,000 people have done the 40-day fast with us. You know what I'm saying? And then people have stolen the fast and have, like people steal my information all the time. Niggas done stole the fast. I remember I sent the fast to my homeboy. He worked at a radio station up in New York. 6 months later, these niggas on the radio talking about they got a 40-day fast reset program. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Niggas be stealing and flipping my shit. Like, it's, you know what I mean? But again, that's self-hate. Niggas would rather steal your shit than share your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, but with a good portion of the people, I was able to track results, and across a diverse amount of people, Black, white, Spanish, Canadian, German, UK niggas, Australia niggas, Africa niggas, Mexican niggas, South American niggas, all kind of, you know what I'm saying? Just from all over the world participated over the years. And so some of the people were sick, you know what I'm saying, with various illnesses that participated. Children participated. Some of them sick, some of them not sick. Athletes, pro bodybuilders, just like everybody you can name, you know what I'm saying? Street guys off the block, you know what I'm saying? Like just every type of, people. And so when you have so many different people putting, doing one thing, everybody's on eating the same diet at the same time, same schedule, like you get to examine what's going on with everybody. You get to really see how this diet affects people across, and so I was actually going to put out the studies a long time ago, because most people know about my book, Eat Right for Your Haplotype. That came out years ago. But in that book, I started to discuss it. You know what I'm saying? Because in the book, it starts off me explaining qualitative and quantitative research. So I started to put it out then, but some of the things that I was still like, some of the things I was still trying to figure out. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just, it's got to.
Yeah. If I'm gonna jump on it, I'm gonna jump on it. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I got to go back in the lab with, a couple of these little pieces. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to repeat somebody else's information, or study somebody's information till you memorize their shit or whatever. But it's a whole nother thing when you're doing something new for the very first time. You like, you're discovering something brand new for the first time. So in that space, you got to be careful and mindful of, putting out the right shit. So I just wanted to be, perfected and make sure I had everything, every little piece covered. If I talk about something in the body, I want to make sure I have at least most of the pathways and cycles to full understanding of what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't want to be somebody just running around like diabetes, insulin, glucose, you know what I'm saying? And then you ask them, well, where does insulin come from? Where does glucose? How does glucose, like they don't have no more answers. They just know the surface level, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to be able to fully be well grounded in what I was getting ready to present, and then have it from a lot of different directions. not just being able to say, oh, well, you know, in a bunch of white folks, I ran this study, or in a bunch of black folks, or in a bunch of healthy folks, or in a bunch of sick folks. Like, I wanted to make sure that my findings were something that was duplicatable and repeatable, and it goes across the bound, you know, all across the board, white, black, candy stripe, like Natural Tahuti used to say, everybody. So so yeah, here we are.
Absolutely. And I like the way profound results. Now this is I I mean, like I said, to me, it's a breakthrough, right? And it is like off your critical thought. So you're the source. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to get that. He's the source. All right. Okay. So it says there's a clear link between metabolic illness and you melanin dominant people that is not genetic in the traditional sense of gene based disease. To make sense of this anomaly, many scientists, doctors, and neuropaths have adopted the pseudo model that metabolic illness is solely based on lifestyle. We have conducted an 8-year study that which has yielded profound results that disqualifies both previous theories of genetics plus life.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, because a lot of people, you know, for a long time, doctors were telling folks that, you know, if you're black, you have a high risk factor for type 2 diabetes because it's, you know, it's you inherit it, you know. But they couldn't pinpoint no genes. There's no diabetes gene that they were saying was faulty. They were just basically saying if you black, you got the, you know, it's in your genes. And then on the flip side, you had the holistic healers, the personal trainers, the naturopaths that was basically making money off of the idea. You know, they was using it pretty much as a sales tactic. Like, okay, well, diabetes all lifestyle based. So come over here and buy some of these workouts, buy some of these herbs, buy some of these, whatever I'm selling, because I'm a sell you a better lifestyle. And then you obviously be, you know, you're gonna be good. And a lot of people benefited from the lifestyle changes. So that kind of fortified that. But everybody didn't. You know what I'm saying? And some of the people that benefited from lifestyle changes, those were temporary, and you know there was still a lot of other issues that popped up. For instance, like Alzheimer's and dementia. Not fully understanding how this worked, people think like you get Alzheimer's when you're 50 years old or 60 years old. You know what I'm saying? But you don't. You get Alzheimer's when you're 20 years old or 25 years old. That's what people don't understand. You know what I'm saying? You already have Alzheimer's in your 20s. It's just taking until your 50s or 60s to fully show up.
For you to care, for it to get to the point where it's undeniable.
Right.
But
So,
when you, I can imagine in your
yeah,
when if you have it in your 20s and your 30s, these slips of the mind that you have that you think, oh, I'm goofy or I'm high, or whatever, that's Alzheimer's.
that's a certified fact. You know what I'm saying? You just put your keys down. You don't know where your keys is. You just picked up your phone to call somebody and forgot who you was about to call. Like, nigga, you already got onset of fucking Alzheimer's and dementia. You just not to the point where you gonna go to the supermarket and forget
And
how to get
forget where
home.
you live at.
Yeah, yeah, you ain't there yet. That ain't gonna happen to you in your motherfucking 50s or 60s if
Mm,
you're lucky. But now it's speeding up because of the way we eating, and then we combine that with the pills, we combine that with the lean, we combine that with, you know, the super strains of weed that we smoking.
mm.
You know, we combine that with the,
Not exercising your mind. Period. You
oh
know.
man, yeah, because and you can tell. Yeah, I'm gonna have to copy this and put this shit on my page too, because yeah, we having a conversation, but
Mm,
because you can tell when your mind is weak, when you can't read. Like even people that know how to read, right? So you got people that are illiterate, they can't read obviously at all or very little. But then you got people that can't read past a page. They can't read. Like for instance, this article would take you about on average anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes to sit down and read for a regular person.
mhm.
If you start reading this article and you make it through a few paragraphs and your head hurt or you tired and distracted, nigga, that's equivalent to you getting down trying to do push-ups and you can only do 1 or 2 push-ups. You know what I'm saying? Now we're aware of our outer external muscles to the point where we know we getting weak. If we get down and do 1 or 2 push-ups, we'd be ashamed. But if we read a page or two in a book and we get tired, put the book down, get distracted, start doing other shit, we're not ashamed of that. It should be exactly the fucking opposite. We should be more ashamed by having our internal muscles weak, the ones that really fucking count, your heart and your brain. That is where we really should deal with. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't think, if your mind is weak, your heart is weak. You know, we got this idea that, oh yeah, yes, son got heart. You know what I'm saying? Because he willing to pull out a gun and shoot in public, or because, he has a high proclivity to violence, or he doesn't mind, robbing a store. Like, because you're willing to engage in crime, we say, oh yeah, son got heart. You know what I'm saying? But if we put that nigga in front of a book, how are he doing a written test?
Mm-hmm.
If we ask that nigga to start really doing anything with numbers besides counting money, is he gonna be able to handle that, or is he tapping out? Like, are our people mentally competent? You see what I'm saying? And that's where we got to start getting with this shit. You know what I'm saying? We got to start judging strength on internal strength. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the martial arts got perverted. And martial arts now, like, martial arts was a system for spiritual growth and development. It was a system for health and wellness. And it was also a system where you could defend yourself if need be. But that was the lesser part of it. The focal point was the spiritual growth and the mental preparation.
Because that would be what is most important. Physical growth without spiritual and mental growth just mean you're someone who could kill a lot of people physically.
You're a fucking caveman.
But you have to learn a lot of obediences, So yeah.
So back when jujitsu started getting popular, the jujitsu community, and then later on the mixed martial arts community, they start like challenging and embarrassing all of the martial arts teachers that had high degree belts in their system that couldn't beat them in a fight. So, so now you get ready to embarrass this Tai Chi master because he can't beat you in a fight. You know what I'm saying? So because you could beat him in a fight, you know what I'm saying? You're getting ready to denigrate his whole entire martial arts system. Like, that's not what it is. Because if we're going to take it to that level, then it might as well just be, I got a gun. You know what Absolutely. I'm saying? Like I could shoot you and you can't tap out this pistol, nigga. You can't tap me out with this pistol if I got you from 3 or 4 feet away. You got to get up close on me to touch me. You know what I'm saying? So if we're just going to make it about base level physical violence, then it doesn't even make sense to train and do all of those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be it has to go back to where we put our mental and spiritual development, growth, and strength first. Once we do that, everything else will come in line. You know what I'm saying? And I'm from 158th Street in the Bronx, so trust me. You know what I'm saying? We used to fight every motherfucking day. So I'm not saying that you're not supposed to learn how to fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't like soft people. You know what I'm saying? So that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying our priorities got to be right. We got to focus on having strong fucking minds. We got to focus on being critical thinkers. We got to focus on being, sound fucking humans. Then we will know how to discern from the shit that we're not supposed to eat, the shit that we're not supposed to put in our body, the places that our children shouldn't be. Like, we'll be able to discern all of those things when we focus on, because once we put that mental development at the top of the fucking totem pole, anything that fucks with that, we're not going to engage in it too long.
Mm-hmm.
When we don't have that as a priority, All manner of fuckery is on the table. My bad. Go ahead, God.
No. Yeah, and if you strengthen the mind, there's less use of fighting. If everyone has a higher spiritual and mental strength, you don't have to depend on your physical ability to beat people, but as often because there's less conflict because people don't just walk
And
around acting like
that's
okay.
a fact because the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, he always beat his opponents before they got in the ring. Going what happened in between the ropes was just going through the motions. He already had you beat before you got in the ring.
Yeah, he was just playing it out. Okay, that's hard. That's hard. Okay, yeah, to me. So yeah, that had rocked me, disqualifying both previous theories, and yeah. So let's get into it, man. Let's get a little bit out of my league right here. Shout out to Gold Man in the chat, Queen Cascade. Let's get it. So you melanin dominant people, type 2 diabetes. What is this relationship? What is this article actually breaking down for us to get through some of this?
Okay, so what you're looking at right here, I guess, is one of the major things that I had started to find out, I guess, was, and I guess this was basically like the major, this was probably the major discuss, well, the major, I'm not gonna say the major discovery, but the major motivator that led me to the discoveries. I put it that way. The less calories people ate, the better they did. Period. Like all the way across the board, whether you was in the NFL, college, basketball, the ICU, the oncology ward, like no matter who the fuck it was, wherever they was at, you know what I'm saying? The less calories people consume, the better they did. And if you think about it, when you get sick, you don't have a fucking appetite. When you get sick, your body naturally stops you from fucking eating.
Don't put nothing in here. We working. We
Yeah,
working. Leave us
yeah,
alone.
yeah. Well, and it's a natural thing. So shit like that kind of kept pushing me forward too, like that natural inclination to not eat when you get sick, or the times when we so passionate about whatever it is that we doing that we forget to eat. Um, Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And so when we put the fast out there, what most people may not have even noticed was that every different step of the way throughout the fast, your calories are getting lower and lower and lower. When you get to the last stage of the 40-day fast, all you're doing is having two juices a day or two smoothies a day. You know what I'm saying? So it's not only a liquid fast, but it's not even that much liquid. I mean, you got unlimited water you could drink. So that's the key piece, is that people are encouraged to drink water like it's going out of style. You know what I'm saying? So that's another piece to it, is that we really focused on water. And I guess another original thing that I did was with the herbs, I didn't focus on, like, I've always been vocal that a detox is not a real detox. Like those bowel movement detoxes, that's not really detoxing your cells. That's just giving you a bowel movement. That's fake. That's not a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Just because it made you have a bowel movement. You know what I'm saying? Um, if you focus on the actual cells throughout the body, and you create a cascade to flush the lymphatic system, and that then starts to generate bowel movements, you'll know, because the bowel movements will continue to be regular way after you go off the detox. Whereas most of these detoxes, when you take them, you have a few bowel movements, 2 days, 3 days. When you stop taking the tea or you stop taking the pills, you stop having the bowel movements. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you know that that's not really a real thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just drying, dehydrating out the body, actually. And it puts people onto a money treadmill, because you feel like, oh man, I took that detox, I had a good bowel movement. Then you stop taking it, you stop having bowel movements. Instantly pops in your mind, hey, I need to have some bowel movements. Let me go get another one of those detoxes. So it makes people purchase a lot, but it doesn't really heal people long term. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So we focused on the NRF2 system, the lymphatic system, and we were able to get a lot of just insane results that way. And so once I started to really get it grounded in my mind, like, okay, so there's a problem with this standard of calories, food equals energy kind of thing. Like, this is, that's not, something's wrong with that. So I began to go back and look at all of the studies that was done to determine that. And when I looked at it, I seen that all of the studies was done on plants, mice, rabbits, cats, cows. That was the bulk of the studies. They had one or two studies that was done on Europeans, and they were done indoors, with no lighting or synthetic lighting. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, this is the problem. This is the problem. This is the problem right here. And you know, many of us don't understand that diabetes is an energy problem. It's an energy metabolism problem because that's what your body's supposed to be doing with the sugar. It's supposed to be going into the muscle cells, and then the muscle cells supposed to be turning it into ATP, basically. So when we look at it as an energy problem, and we see that the basic fundamental ideas of fundamental premises that modern science uses in calculating people's diets, regeneration, health, all the way across the board, from medical doctors to trainers, they never ran any studies on us.
That was something else I saw on here where it said it was, I think, a study on lung size and a
Yeah,
study on,
yeah, our lung sizes are different. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, yeah, I put that in there to highlight why it would be important for us to have had been a part, because we're different. You know what I'm saying? From every part of our, like, we have a different anabolic hormone cascade. We have a different amount of fast twitch and slow twitch muscles. We have different lung size. There's even work that says we have different size respiratory proteins inside our
yeah, I
mitochondria.
say certain digestive system, the digestive system has differences as far as
Everything,
the carbon and sulfur,
everything.
and that's like, because I remember people saying, well, they use recessive mice in labs, right? They don't use the wild mice. They create recessive mice, and then that's what they use.
You
And
funny. You know what? That you funny because I didn't think of that, but that's actually
mm,
a fact though. They use white mice, and those are not like wild mice. Wild mice are always like brown or you know,
gray and
yeah,
stuff. And I
yeah.
already said that. Yeah, I said they do these studies.
Look, we from the hood. We know better. Motherfuckers could pretend all they want.
Ain't no white
You
mice.
you done had mice in your house before, motherfucker. God damn it. Everybody that had a mouse in their motherfucking house, and you have never ever caught a white mouse in your house.
Hmm.
You've never caught a white mouse in your house. The motherfuckers always got some color to them. So that's some funny shit right there. But that's a certain.
Yeah, but that's real. And the thing that I think, because whatever you want to put it on, white supremacy, marketing, whatever, they're like the dominant society. We're the minority of the numbers, so it would make sense to do the health thing for them. But that's what I say. They don't actually do the scientific studies to get results to help everybody. It's to help them. That's why it's aimed like that. If it help you, it help you. If you close enough to us, fine. But we're trying to heal us. We're trying to, so that makes a lot of sense to me. That those studies did not really study us. They only studied you melanin recessive people.
Yeah, and so it just made sense when you look at it and go, okay, well, black folks around the world have a 200% risk factor to white folks. Um, Clearly, it's our differences, you know what I'm saying, that's making us more susceptible to this illness. And because this illness is the cause of, kidney failure. When you look at the dialysis business is all black folks propping it up. It's the leading, the gateway to kidney failure. Dialysis is the gateway to cancer. It's the gateway to heart disease. It's the gateway to Alzheimer's. It's the gateway to dementia. It's the gateway to just a wide plethora of psychiatric issues. It's the gateway to they're noticing correlations. They say correlations, not causation. Fine. But they're noticing correlations with certain things that the mothers are eating, and having a higher risk factor for autistic children, right? With processed meat, bolognas, frankfurters, like sandwich meat, Frank's burgers, shit like that. Like it just all across the board, because we were not a part of these models, we are at the higher end of getting affected by these issues. And so, the the fast just gave me an opportunity to really, like just look and examine, a wide range of people, and start correlating this information and putting it together, and start mapping out, what changes we need to make. And the biggest thing that happened right off the back was, as I'm going through these studies, I seen that there was a guy named Max Kleber that had already pretty much highlighted that there was a problem with he had already highlighted that there was a problem with, the basic studies of, eating food and your energy production, or cellular respiration in whole. He was like, there's 20 to 40% of a person's energy output is missing. It's not coming from ATP. It has to be coming from somewhere else. So that right there struck me, because it kind of created a hypothesis in my mind. When I was a kid, or as a child, as a young man, as a teenager, as an adolescent, I was curious about certain things. Like we heard from, all of our melanin scholars, even from our organized scientists, the Western schools, everywhere. We heard, it was a well taught, well publicized fact that melanin absorbs light. So I'm like, okay, there's a problem with that. And he's like, what are you talking about? There's no problem with that. Melanin absorb light. It absorb light. Nigga, what's up with you? I'm like, nah, there's a problem with that, because that's an incomplete statement. If energy can't be created or destroyed, what is melanin doing with the energy after it absorbs it? Yeah. I'm like, shit is absorbing light all motherfucking day. I'm sitting under light bulbs right now, melanin absorbing my shit. So where is it going after it absorbs it? I'm like, there has to be another part of that. You can't, because if it's not doing anything with it, then you're telling me that melanin is able to destroy energy. And science gives us a maxim that says energy can't be created or destroyed. So are you telling me that melanin is God? Shit, melanin can do the undoable? Like melanin is destroying all this light it's absorbing? And I got no answer. And I'm talking about from the melanin elders of the community to the white scientists in school. There was no fucking answer.
The obvious question in the room never was answered. If it absorbs it, what is it turning into, and how does it exhaust it?
Yeah. And
what are we doing here?
So that right there created a hypothesis in my mind. Once I read Max Kleber's work, I was like, boom. This 20, 30, 40% of energy that's being produced by people that's not coming from food must somehow be related to our pigment absorbing light at some degree. And the reason why it's probably not a steady, why it's not a steady count for everybody, is because everybody has different levels of pigment, and everybody's pigment is functioning at different levels. So not only do we have different levels, but what we have, some of us is functioning better than others, because as I would come to find out, there are a lot of things that inhibits your pigment from functioning optimally, you know, and sugar is at the top of the food chain. Sugar, nicotine, alcohol, saturated fat, like all of these things that we would learn are toxic for the body. Most of them are toxic because they attack your pigment system somehow. So even like I was saying earlier, with the situation we're dealing now with the pandemic, everybody that was trying to sound intelligent, you know what I'm saying, was like, well, you know, the virus is able to, you know, attack the ACE2 proteins and blah 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 blah. Yeah, nigga, but do you know how that happens? Do you know that that's those ACE2 are, you know, are regulated through angiotensin regulated through renin regulated through vitamin D regulated through melanin in your skin. So now, if the melanin in your skin is having an issue, the UVB is not going to be able to. Even if you're butt naked on the beach of Jamaica, you're not going to be able to produce enough vitamin D to stimulate the kidneys, the angiotensin, the renin, blah 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 blah. You're not going to have that whole, because that's how things work in the body. Everything is a pathway or a cycle. Everything is a domino effect. One thing that affects one thing, and so everybody has its job inside your body. Like, I'm gonna do this, then the next person. Like everything in your body is like a fucking relay race. You know what I'm saying? Where you got like 5 or 6 members of the team, and you got to run hard, and then put your, you know, then you pass the baton to the next one, and to the next one, to the next one. So understanding that all you have to do is attack this one basic system, which regulates everything, even the most fucking important cells of your body. The most important cells of your body are either your cardiomyocytes or your neurons. Both of those are regulated by melanin. So that's why the number one and number two killer in the world, or at least in America, is brain disease and heart disease. Yeah. So this is shit that niggas is not understanding. You know what I'm saying? And when I come out and bring people the information, niggas would rather hate because they worried about what, oh shit, I ain't trying to help Enqi come up. Nigga, this ain't about helping Enqi come up, goofball. Nigga, this about making sure our families is like, this about changing the fucking world. Nigga, we could change the world right now with social media. We could speak to the fucking globe. We could speak to the whole globe right now. This shit is like,
this is it.
Yeah, we should be on another level with this shit. Our ancestors then died, hung, dicks cut off, titties chopped off. This is the moment they was waiting for. We can't fucking fumble the ball right now on the one yard line. Look,
Dr. William.
Wait, we can't fumble the ball right now because we on the 1 yard line. And because we don't want to see the dark-skinned nigga run the touchdown, because we don't want to see Marshawn Lynch run the fucking touchdown, we passing the fucking, we get the fuck out of here.
We want a field goal.
Come on, man.
Don't let William Brzezinski or Winowski come out with this same information 2 years from now. Hey, do you understand what I'm saying?
That's what they did to Sebi. Dr. Sebi said carbon-based food can cure us of almost every illness on earth. And they put that nigga in jail. 5 years later, 3 white guys came out and said they discovered a secret to all illness. Carbon-based compounds can cure everything in the world. And they gave those niggas a Nobel Peace Prize. That's how that went down. They gave those niggas a Nobel Peace Prize.
I can imagine that's happened countless of times. And
in those spaces, in those pockets, we did not have the power that we do today.
We got it now.
See, in those times, we was always dependent on somebody else to press the button. Even if we had the talent, the know-how, the information, somebody else needed to package our shit and put it out to the world. We got the buttons now. It's us in charge of this shit. You know what I'm saying? And this is not something that niggas can shy away from, because this ain't got nothing to do with fucking money. When we look around, we see our best going down for what? Because they don't have this information. Michael Jackson didn't die from a fucking assassin's bullet. He didn't die because burglars broke in his crib and killed him. He didn't die in a fucking car crash. He died because he was sick. Prince didn't die from no weird, violent, wild, crazy shit. He died because he was sick. Niggas is going down because they don't know how. It's not even a matter of not taking care of themselves because they think they are. They hired nutritionists and doctors.
They paying big bucks.
But them niggas don't know shit because they're relying on information like this that at its foundation has nothing the fuck to do with us.
Trying to fit the peg into a different shaped hole.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Goofy niggas running around because, you know, they don't want to see a nigga from, they don't want me to be responsible for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at a nigga with a gold chain and gold teeth, only thing they could see is a criminal or a hustler. They can't see that those are stereotypes that we enforcing on ourselves. That's self-hate. If white folks from the suburb look at me with gold teeth and a gold chain and think a hustler or a criminal, I have no problem with that. That's why I have no problem with saying we should have fucking kept Trump in office than Biden. People saying, no, we shouldn't have voted for Trump because Trump is a racist. Nigga, all these old white motherfuckers are racist. You got to take that off the table. That Biden is a fucking racist. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't say that you're not voting for Trump because he's racist and then vote in Biden who is, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to take that off the table. If both fucking candidates is racist, that comes off the table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What
Which one of these racist dudes is finna we finna use?
Who gonna put us in a better position to win? That's what it only should come down to. And so in that same regard, I don't hold people that only know us through TV and music accountable at the same level as I gotta hold my brothers and sisters that's experiencing the same type of stereotypical prejudice and racism because of how they look. How the fuck do you turn around and then do that to your brother? You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, these would be the same niggas that if I was wearing a fucking perm, you know what I'm saying, with a fucking suit, because a lot of these niggas that fit into that world, they, you know, they relax their hair, you know what I'm saying? So they shit look a little, you know, a little curlier so they can wear their hair out. You know, they get in the lineup every 3 days, every 2 days, and all this other goofy shit. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I did that, niggas would be like, oh, yo, Enqi sold out. Yo, Enqi sold out. So you don't get to have it both ways. Because if I dress like I just graduated from Harvard or one of them places, I'm selling out trying to fit into the white folks shit. If I dress like I'm one of you, then you're going to underestimate me and devalue me and say I'm a hustler or a criminal because I got gold teeth and a gold chain. Like we have to really wake the fuck up and change our priorities, because this thing that just happened with the pandemic, it has nothing really to do with the pandemic. It just has everything to do with us not knowing who we are, not knowing how to take care of ourselves because we don't know how our bodies work. And everybody that learns 5 little fucking percent of what it is that I teach, instead of them sharing me, they want to present themselves and say, oh, well, shit, Enqi is a hustler. So, you know, I could just learn some of that shit Enqi saying, and then I can get that money. I can be the hustler.
Open me up a spot.
Open me up, absolutely. And then they don't understand that they might be out there hurting people, because it's a lot of niggas that makes money in the and I'll give you one example. They make money off of impotence, right? People who's losing guys who's losing the ability to get a hard on, right? So they go online, and it only will take you 10 minutes. If you go online right now, anybody could do this shit. If you go online and Google and you type in herbs for circulation, you'll get a whole bunch of shit that pop up. So what do niggas do? They go buy 10 or 20 of them, mix them all up, put them in a capsule. Niggas take those herbs, and guess what happens? They get a hard on. So they go, man, this shit works. So now they start selling that shit to people. But because they don't know what the fuck they doing, they don't know that they're taking one of their body's natural safeguards and unlocking the door. Like how you like back in the days when you watch a vampire movie, it say you got to invite the vampire in for the vampire to get you. they don't know they inviting the fucking vampire in. The reason why most people is dealing with impotence is because they're getting poor circulation on purpose. The blood has too much sugar in it. The blood has too much acids in it, too much toxin, too much shit that's not supposed to get
Yeah.
into the precious areas of the body. You don't want all that goofy shit sliding up in your pipe, because what's going to happen is the nerves and the tissues in there is going to start to die. And those and those circulation herbs that forces open the capillaries is also allowing all that shit to go into your pipe. So like you're helping people in the short term, and you're making a nice little few dollars quick, but long term you hurting those people.
Mm-hmm.
Long term
That's
you hurting
bad.
those people, and those people are too dumb to know that you're the one damaging them, and you're too dumb to know that,
They giving you praises. Dang.
because you see this as some type of fucking hustle to make a few dollars real quick. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, you know what, I like what Enqi's doing. Let me work with, we better together. Let me team up. See, that's what the other folks do. If somebody knows how to do something and you think what they're doing is lucrative, they invest in you, they partner up with you and form the business around you and say, okay, look, nigga, you just sit back there somewhere and do that, whatever that thinking, whatever you do to come up with this shit. We're gonna make sure you can, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You sit down over there and do that, and we're gonna figure out how to package, ship, market, promote. We're gonna get this shit all over the globe for you. You know, it's 8 fucking billion people on Earth, and most of them are yellow, red, brown, and black. So that means you have a potential customer base. If you're only targeting black folks or people of color, of 7 billion motherfuckers, but our minds ain't that we want to compete for the same 50 niggas on YouTube. Like it just, it doesn't make sense, because in real time, while niggas bullshit, people are dying. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas be coming onto my page and shit, typing all kind of goofy shit in, trolling my shit and all that. I be laughing at these niggas like, you have no idea that while you fucking around on my pages and while you trying to slander me, somebody in your household, somebody in your family right now is dying.
Could use
Right
what you.
now, some of these niggas online, these niggas are all taking medication. I'm just not. I just said 2022. I'm gonna ease up, focus on healing folks. But I can call niggas names out. These niggas is on medication. So instead of the bullshit, you niggas should be studying, learning, taking fucking notes, and promoting this shit to your people. That's what the fuck these niggas should be doing with their time. But
Absolutely.
like I said, self-hate killing niggas. That's the only thing competing with fucking diabetes for bodies out here right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's that's wild. I had talked to you about my brother who had sickle cell. You remember that?
Yeah.
It was a while ago. You know, back when I really was out of line for asking you. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't, I really wasn't. But it's my brother and it's sickle cell. You know what I'm saying? So it's like cuss me out, tell me, man, who the hell is this nigga or whatever. But give me something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
listen what you
wild,
said.
and for sickle cell, wild yams and cinchona bark are really good. Yeah.
Okay, because I remember I told him in what you said. He said he had an iron overload. I
Mm.
think he's having too much iron, which is like not usually how sickle cell goes, to my understanding. It's usually a deficiency. But the body is so amazing. So you said erectile dysfunction is a warning sign. You should be
That used
happy.
to be called type 3 diabetes, but then they changed the type 3 diabetes now to Alzheimer's. You know what I'm saying? So anytime
Wow.
you have blood complications, they call that shit type 3 diabetes.
Type 2 is some diabetes.
Yeah, type 3, like this is the next phase of your diabetes. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
a lot of our iron metabolism comes from um, you know, having silent background sources of inflammation. Because when you have, and that can come from a lot of, almost anywhere. But when you have that silent background or chronic inflammation, you get a high turnover of red blood cells. And that high turnover of red blood cells is going to start to overwork the liver, the spleen, and you're going to need more iron. And before you know it, either you're going to be deficient or you're going to start having iron in your tissues, which they say is an iron overload. You know what I'm saying? But it's not necessarily too much iron in the blood. Is that you're getting like iron stored in the tissues where it don't belong. So yeah,
Yeah, that's when his pain started going through the roof. Yeah, and when you said okay, because we mentioned that there were no studies based on you melanin dominant people, so this is actually the part where it was saying that at, just for the people. It
so now
says
we
after
got one though. Now we got one. We got a
now we got one.
yeah. We got 10 years damn near. You know what I'm saying? So now we got an official study, where we can say, and the study applies to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, even the whitest white person you can name, that's like a popular misconception. The whitest white person you can name still has melanin. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they brain would you wouldn't like if you got brain cells, you got melanin. Brain cells are melanated cells. You know what I'm saying? So if you can think and talk, nigga, that's melanin up there.
Yeah, cells.
You
Yeah,
know.
that's awesome. Yeah, so if you get the erectile dysfunction, go to seek help. Don't just not for the erectile dysfunction. Just notice that that's your body's way of saying, "Hey,
We need to
you know,
change some shit.
fuck with
Yeah.
me. Check
Yeah.
me out one time." You know what I'm saying? See what's up with me, bro.
And actually, I would say just like Alzheimer's, right? The same way I'm saying that the Alzheimer's starts 20, 30, 40 years before the symptoms, impotence is the same way. But we don't pay attention to the warning signs. When you wake up as a man, if you don't have a hard on before your first time you go to the bathroom in the morning, that's a signal right then that you're going down impotence road. So it's only a matter of time for your shit. You know, when it's game time, you when it's game time, you're gonna be like Harden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Why is it why his name is Harden too? But you're gonna be like James Harden. You know what I'm saying? Because James Harden is amazing in the regular season, but whenever the big game come, he always, that's whenever he got, so that's a sign to let you know when you don't wake up in the morning and you saluting, you
Mhm.
you got problems.
What
Handle
is
them now.
what is the female's version of that? What is
The female's version is when they can't have an orgasm and they blame it on their man. You know what I'm saying? Because women, they get a hard on too. The clitoris is supposed to be hard,
yes?
just like the penis is supposed to be hard. But most women's penis is not getting hard, and because
That was
we don't have,
crazy.
yeah, we
Most
don't,
women clitoris.
yeah.
We just not gonna say women penis. Okay, but
But and so
so
here's what
in
they
the
do.
morning,
So look, what they need is overstimulation. It's just like, for instance, men know when they be half staff. You know what I'm saying? You done stroked out half staff, and if you half staff stroking out when you trying to get to the orgasm, you got to really overkill it. You know what I'm saying? You to get an orgasm. Whereas if you was at maximum hardness, you would be and basically like trying to get her to relax before you bust too fast. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
It's the same thing with women's clitoris. So because they not getting the proper engorgement, you gotta damn near hit that shit with a fucking like a blowtorch to get it to go. So
mm-hmm,
instead of education, and because they don't know no better, right? They motherfuckers don't want to share Dr. Enqi videos. They don't want to listen to all these big words. They don't want to read. They just buying toys, and the toys getting stronger and stronger and stronger to the point where soon they're gonna have to hook up them fucking butterflies and flowers to a fucking car battery to get.
put some gunpowder in them. Like TNT. Line up
Yo,
a bunch of TNT around the clip. Boom, boom,
man,
boom, 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 like you blowing up
man,
a mountain.
for
Okay,
real, like it's shit crazy.
okay, well, we do got pictures for y'all that's concerned about that. It's some very nice pictures in
Yeah,
here for
these were the studies, and at the bottom of the article, it's a bunch of references, but these were pretty much some of the pictures from the studies that they did. So if you look at this study, they studied a dove, some rats, some pigeons, some hens, some sheeps, European couple, bull, and a cow. And this is where they get the basis for how our body metabolizes energy. I'm like, nigga, this ain't, none of this reflects me. like we nowhere in this study right here. This is not my metabolism that's being checked right here. Like I don't know what y'all are doing. And a cow got like 3 fucking stomachs. Like that cow should, yeah, like cows shouldn't even be in a study that's gonna be basing human metabolism. I'm like, you niggas threw a bird in this motherfucker, some chickens. Like, what? How the fuck did you tie this to human metabolism? That shit is insane.
This the only data that matter. The woman and the man, and that's even has a caveat to it because they're melanin recessive.
Facts.
So it's like,
and they in indoors sitting down with no natural light. So I'm like, that's not even a good study for fucking active white folks. Like that's not even like these studies not even good for them. Like this shit is crazy.
wow.
These they did on plants and bushes and trees. So I'm like, nah, bro. You can't take studies on plants, bushes, trees, rats, doves, pigeons, chickens. Like that shit don't reflect my metabolism right there. And so because they did that, that is how we fucking wind up. You know what I'm saying? That's how we wind up with 200%, 200 fucking percent rate of getting diabetes or Alzheimer's or any of this other shit to white folk because you niggas done put together, and nobody's even questioning this shit. When niggas say 200%, you know, I'm not the smartest nigga in the world when it comes to math. You know what I'm saying? But I know some basic fucking math. You know,
that's a state of emergency. That's stop what you're doing.
Facts. That's like stop the fucking presses, nigga. How we went past 100. Once we got to 100%, I'm like, I'm sorry. Somebody, please, I might be slow. Can y'all please enlighten me how we went past a full, 100 is supposed to be a full total. Nigga, say how we got past like 100% means certainly. Like this is it's certain that this is going to happen to you. So how did we went double certain? Like what the fuck? I'm like, so it's impossible basically for me to escape type 2 diabetes is what you're saying.
Some form of type 2 diabetes is going to affect every black person.
Facts.
On this diet.
I say something that this don't work for me. I don't give a fuck. See, that's where the heart supposed to come in. You're not supposed to take that fearlessness and do some old ignorant shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, be fearless and do some shit that has a long lasting benefit to your family and your friends and your people. You know what I'm saying? Like, do some real shit. So I'm like, nigga, I'm not laying down with that shit. That sounds like some old wild shit that I can't, like, nah, not on my watch, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. 200%, nigga, I got children. First of all, I'm not trying to get type 2 diabetes. I like fucking. Just in case, I got 10 children for a reason. Like, I actually like to use my penis, you know what I'm saying? So I'm uncomfortable with the fact that what you're saying is that it's going to be an inevitable fact that at some point, my penis will fail due to type 2 diabetes, and I'll have to start buying drugs to use my penis, which means basically
that attacks other parts of my body.
But here's the thing: even before we get there, that's a form of fucking muscling. That's extortion, my nigga. You leaning on me. You basically saying you could have sex, but every time you have sex, you got to pay me a few dollars because your penis won't work without these pills. So you extorting me, nigga. I'm from 158th Street in the Bronx. I know what extortion look like, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. Get your fucking. I'm like Malcolm, nigga. Get your hand out of my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? I'm like, nah, nigga. You're not getting ready to extort me for fucking. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, that I can imagine as a doctor, like when you see that 200%, you like, hold on, fam. I know I could lower that down 1%.
I'm like, shit.
I know.
I can get us under at least. I can get us at least 99%.
I'm about to blow up 200.
I'm like, this is a no-brainer. This gotta be it's gotta be some sort of basic malfunction in how our body is made, comparing with this motherfucking diet, that like something is not matching here because it's only targeting us at this level. So it stands to reason that it's clear whatever makes us different from everybody else is what is making us more susceptible. And the number one thing that makes us different is that is melanin. Hold on one second. Let me find my charger.
Go ahead and let me put this link in the chat again for y'all, man. It's Dr. Enqi in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Shout out to the family. Let me put this back in the chat. Check it out. Share it, man. You melanin dominant base research study on diabetes changes the game. Why? You know what I'm saying? Is it taking so long? Why is this still a window that was closed? Never mind, but I'm glad the brother saw it and bust the window open, jumped through it, and snatched and grabbed what we needed. And now, I mean, this is not a lottery ticket. Okay, this is not a pull of the game at the Oval Casino. Okay, this is a 200%. You know what I'm saying?
This is they basically booking you like, nigga, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
The guarantee for you. This is how this is going to happen. You're going the fuck down. And once we really started to go through it and figure out all the minor details, and I was able to figure out, okay, it's not just about like having a food list or following a rigid program, or saying, I'm not eating, food, or I'm going on a fast. It's not that. It's being able to optimize your entire melanin system, because you got a melanin system. It starts with your neurochemistry. You know what I'm saying? And it goes always. In fact, melanin regulates your entire endocrine system. Your entire endocrine system. All of your hormones is regulated by melanin. You know what I'm saying? So once you get that understanding, that shit is a paradigm changing. But we've had some elders that tried to come and tell us certain things, but they didn't really understand it themselves enough to break it down to the point where they can make it plain. Like, no, this is how it works. You know what I'm saying? Because there's parts where, you listen to them, they don't have an answer, or they get into something metaphysical, or they say some shit that's not really scientific, and you go, and then that creates the doubt that allows the next generations to not follow up on what they brung to them, or for other groups of people to say, oh, that's that old militant black, that's that old foolish, that's not real science they talking about. That's, so for me, it was a matter of, like I said, being able to go, you can't do that with me, buddy. That's we're not gonna do that. This is how it works. Let me show you. Bang, 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 bang. You know what I'm saying? And just took the time to understand, not every single facet of the brain, because every single facet of the brain is not known. is that complex. Like, this is the most advanced technology on a fucking planet is your heart and your brain. But just take the time to get a good working understanding of how everything works. And when you look at how everything works in the brain, it runs off of neuromelanin. Neuromelanin is at the heart, or dopamine, which cycles with neuromelanin. Dopamine becomes neuromelanin, which causes the excretion of dopamine, which becomes neuromelanin, which excretes the dopamine, which becomes neuromelanin. Like, it's the seed becoming the tree that then bears the fruit, that then becomes the seed, that bears the fruit, that then becomes the seed. So whenever they try to make it like, oh, it's dopamine, this and that, well, can our brains produce dopamine without neuromelanin, nigga. Like, get the fuck out of here. So what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, and only when backed in a corner will they mention the word melanin like it's a cuss word. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
because there was no way to hide it when they started to do research on Parkinson's, dementia, and Alzheimer, they had to say, well, clearly the melanin centers of the brain are at, the melanin is getting depleted. And as the melanin is getting depleted from these brain centers, people are losing brain function. That should have been the fucking end of discussion right there, nigga. Shit. Y'all teaching us that melanin either protects you from sunlight or it's a waste product. Well, if that's the case, both of them is disqualified, motherfucker, because as the melanin leaves the brain, so does brain function. So clearly, melanin has a lot more to fucking do than protect us from the sun or function as a fucking waste product. Obviously, it's the center of brain function because when it's not there, brain function ceases. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? So
That's yeah. Um, about that brain, I had a question, but it was off subject. But
no, go ahead with it. It's cool.
this was no, it was wow. It was like okay, you know how they say like junk DNA and junk part of the brain. They don't know what it's for. Like
Yeah, that's not a real thing. That's fake.
okay,
That's arrogance. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I think that in that what they call junk DNA in that useless part of the brain, I think those are your Avenger powers. I think if you learn how to utilize those, that's where your super strength and abilities that physically people would say you're superhuman. Uh,
I would, I don't know necessarily about your superpowers, but I would definitely say you could tap into some serious fly shit. You can tap into some athleticism that's like I mean we see it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Or you can tap into some genius level brain function. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
we've seen that all the time. Like genius is not something that people necessarily born with. Genius is something that people stumble into. So because it's rare that we see people function at a high level in their field, we think it's something that they're born into, but it's something that they're just gifted. If we look at Kanye, Kanye got nourished, um, nurtured rather by his mom, and that's all he needed to activate his genius shit, love from his mom.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we let daycares and TV raise our children. You
That's a
know,
fact. DVD players and PlayStations.
facts. So our children's not getting properly nurtured. So their brain is. We're sending our kids to school with incomplete brain development, and I'm not talking about the mind in terms of intellectual capacity.
Hmm.
I mean the actual physical brain is not finished developing, and we sending them to school because we don't understand how the body works. So we don't even know how to care properly for our babies. We don't know how to care properly for them. We listening to other people tell us what's better for them. It's better for your job owner if you find somebody else to watch your kids so you could get back to work as soon as possible. But that's not what's best for your kid. You know what I'm saying? It's better for your job if you put a whole bunch of microwave and fast food in the motherfucking house for your baby so that you can focus on your work. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what's best for the children. You know what
No,
I'm saying? It's best for your job if you feed them formula out the can. It's good for the prison system. It's good for the education. Like everybody else benefits except your kid. Your kid
self your child, and they grow up ready to be another employee, working and not pushing.
or
That's
prisoner
sick, man.
or prisoner or inmate. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Or
you gonna work? Yeah.
yeah.
So I wanted to touch on this abstract part right here, right? Because this was cool to me. The advanced pigmentation of melanin dominant peoples around the globe present a wide array of chemoluminescent phenomenon accounted for in modern science. This scientific blind spot is one functional physiology of you melanin dominant people is the number one cause of premature aging, sickness, and death.
So not understanding that the body is light based, right? And that was something that I discovered, um, early on before I even got deep into, maybe year 7, 8, 9, 10 of the fast. Um, Early on, just trying to figure out just in the same pocket, still in the same pocket, trying to figure this energy shit out. Because you hear, oh, well, mitochondria recycles or makes ATP from your food, and that's how you get energy for the cell. My mind is just never comfortable with incomplete stories like that. I need the whole shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of them people that I gotta watch the whole series on Netflix in one fucking day or 2 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need the whole fucking story. So I want to know, okay, well, after the ATP gets made. First, I want to know how the energy from the carbon bonds of the sugar, how that energy is carried from the outside of the cell to the inside of the cell. How does it get into the mitochondria? Once it gets in the mitochondria, how is it turned into ATP? And then once it's turned into ATP, how does the ATP get dropped back into the cell? How does that turn into energy? And energy is a fucking general term. So what type of energy are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's actually being produced in the cell from ATP that powers the cell? So long story short, I started doing my research and I find out that the mitochondria is electric. You know what I'm saying? But your body is not electric. Your body is actually, your body runs on light, just like the Bible been told us, just like the pyramid text been told us. You know what I'm saying? Like, our ancestors done told us this shit, but we done been brainwashed, and we done been wishy, we done been brainwashed out of this shit. But it's already, once I came to, I'm saying, oh shit, this is basic. We should have been knew this. You know what I'm saying? But basically, phosphorus in the presence of oxygen, it glows, it lights up, it gives off light. And so what's happening with the ATP, you have adenosine triphosphate. And in that matrix, you also have a sugar. So you basically got an amino, a sugar, and three phosphorus atoms, so to speak. Um, so when it gets dropped into the waters of the cell or the cytoplasm, um, one of those phosphoruses, gets oxidized, and from that oxidization or hydrolysis process, you have the energy being produced, but the energy being produced is in the form of light. So from that you now I'm starting to figure out. Now, wonder these motherfuckers didn't want us to know how all this shit works, because the moment we figure out the cells run on light, then automatically melanin plays a much motherfucking bigger role in how our body functions, because light can only interface with pigment.
That's crazy.
So of course you got to keep this shit secret, nigga. You got to do. We the flyest
And
thing.
I'm thinking, like,
Yeah.
and they keep it, they control your light. People be inside under man made lights
Facts.
the majority of their life.
Oh, now. No, no, no.
They
The majority of the daytime, this shit's even this shit, the shit is even scheduled a way for you to not be in the light, because you're supposed to be at school or work throughout the daytime.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that means that black folks that need 3 to 4 hours of midday sunlight have no way to get it. So they done set you up to be melanin, vitamin D deficient, arginine prone, all these things, because you're not going to be outside from 10 to 2. And from 10 to 2 is the only time that UVB touches the earth, period. So if you're not outside from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, you're not getting UVB. You might get you some sunlight before work, after work, but that doesn't have UVB in it. And the UVB is what acts through the melanin on the cholesterol to produce vitamin D. And so that's going to regulate the kidney, the this, the that, and all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? The beta cells inside the pancreas, the beta cells in the pancreas is totally dependent on melanin. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers with type 1 diabetes, they have melanin deficiency. That's what the fuck is going on, because it's dopamine and vitamin D that tell those cells to produce insulin. So if the dopamine and the vitamin D is not there, none of the other shit even matters. You know what I'm saying? So it's sunlight. Like we're supposed to be out in the sun. And so what does it mean that we have more pigment? The darker skin we are, that means we're crippled when we are not out there. The less pigment you have in your skin means the less sun you actually need. So you can function at a high level with little to no sunlight. So only us are going to be affected at this high level. And that even goes with the food, because what is food processing? Processing food is where you take out all of the sun-based shit in the food. You take out the pigment, you take out the fiber, you take out the vitamins and minerals. Well, the pigments and the fibers and vitamins, minerals, all that's the shit that the plant made from photosynthesis. So you get rid of all that light-based shit out of the food, and then you serve niggas what's left. Here, get this white rice, get this, get these noodles, and get this other goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, all that shit is going to fuck up your body. You know what I'm saying? Because, so that's why we at the higher end of getting metabolic disease, because the shit we putting in our body for our metabolism to run cripples the body. The number one thing that your iodine level is supposed to do is what? Go to the brain, the pituitary, the hypothalamus, and regulate melanin. So even that, like they tell you, oh, okay, well, yeah, your thyroid hormones regulate your metabolism. But see, my saying all the time, I tell niggas all the time, Jay-Z said it best, niggas don't stay in the studio long enough. So when they say your thyroid hormones regulate your metabolism, niggas don't know how it does that. Niggas just telling you, that. They just repeating what they heard white folks say. So a lot of times that becomes the problem too. A lot of these niggas is only like they're pimping the black community in a way. And I'm talking about the healers, the herbalist niggas, because they listen to white folks and then they run back to the black community to try to
impress us with it.
Right. They want to be the first nigga in the hood to say the shit they heard from the white folks. And they don't understand that only 40, 50, 60% of that shit has a value because it's not for us. So when you coming back and you flipping and bouncing shit and you like, oh yeah, well, we need to eat this, we need to eat that. Let's not have, let's get this new water with, we've taken all the deuterium out of it and all that shit. Who the fuck you get that from? That's not for us. Deuterium is
supposed to be sunlight in that water.
Right. Well, deuterium is heavy hydrogen. It's a heavier isotope of hydrogen. Right. So there's a new thing going around with people trying to get rid of all of this heavy hydrogen from their water. The problem is these, again, is only based on studies of European folks and how their bodies work, because they have evolved on a diet of primarily meat, because you're coming from cold climates. You don't have a wide variety of plants and fish and all this other shit.
Herbs and fruits. Yeah.
The fish at the equator, the plants at the equator, the C3 plants, C4 plants, all of them are high in fucking deuterium. So that means the people that come from the equator, well, they have no problem eating and processing deuterium-based shit. You know what I'm saying? That's some shit from the white folks. And you coming over here telling us, oh, yeah, well, like all of this shit that we getting from over there, we got to take all that shit with a grain of salt and be like, nigga, that don't, hold on, man. Pump your brakes, man. That ain't, I'm not on that. I'm about to get on this Dr. Enqi shit, bro. We over here with it. We over here with it, bro. We hear you. That's good over there. Let that be over there. We about to get on this Dr. Enqi shit.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. And I mean, it makes so much sense. We hear a lot of stuff, right? People spew a lot of rhetoric, but this isn't rhetoric, man. Would you say what's the source? What is it? Here's the source. Here's the scientific study.
Right.
Here's where it comes. It's nothing to talk about. We
And,
got us one.
and even the craziest shit that I might say in this article, like there's a sentence somewhere in this motherfucker where I say like we like fire breathing dragons.
Oh yeah.
Motherfuckers is like, come on, bro. See, that's what we talking about. Enqi be making shit up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm making it up a little bit to add a little color to it. But the truth is that we inhale and exhale light with every breath.
Hmm.
Every one of our breaths brings in UV and infrared light. And I got the studies referenced at the bottom of the article for a nigga to, pull it up and see, like, just, so some of these things only sound crazy because people haven't, they're not like this is the first time they're hearing some of these things. And that creates a disconnect because even when you bring people information about themselves, if they're not used to hearing certain things and they don't really understand how the body works, some of this shit will sound fantastical. It's like, okay, this nigga Enqi said we breathe in light, nigga. Well, get the fuck out of here, nigga. We don't breathe light, nigga. We breathe oxygen. Well, you got to understand that oxygen stores light. In fact, the reason why there's life on this motherfucking planet is because oxygen stores light.
Hmm.
That's how we have an ionosphere, stratosphere,
And,
magnetosphere.
and, and on my pseudo shit, your body has an atmosphere. Your body has a, they call it an aura. Different coaches call it different things, but your body has
Yeah,
a
our
um.
body gives off, yeah, our body gives off light. No, that's not pseudo. That's a certified fact. It's just the problem is that we don't understand that in terms of the full light spectrum, we can only see a little bit of it, the visible light. So the light that our body, our skin gives off is beneath the visible spectrum. But
Facts.
this like it's plenty of papers that shows, like
Yeah.
that's
How
a
do you use the word pseudo? Because it's being thrown around. Because I thought it meant
no,
not
yeah,
provable.
it's being thrown around by people that don't know how to read. So they
Yeah, I
don't
thought it meant not provable, right? It doesn't mean it's false.
know. That don't mean that. It just means like a type of. It has a few like that's one of the things with English. English words have 5, 6, 7 different definitions.
Fork tongue language.
But yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But it means it can be used in a context that's negative, you know what I'm saying? Like that's fake, false, but it can also mean a type of, you know what I'm saying? Like, or in a like a comparative or like metaphorical kind of way, like this is a type of thing, like, to give a comparative, connotative kind of sense to it. So, but online is getting distorted just like the word agent. You know what I'm saying? They just throw that shit around so much, it loses its, actual people that don't know what it means, they just kind of hear it and re-throw it out there. But so that's
Try to insult you with
yeah,
it. Not be called
yeah. But no,
it.
that shit ain't pseudo at all. That shit is right and exact.
Yeah, man. Let me put this link back out there, man, so y'all can get this. Get it in there, share it, man. Let's be a machine for real.
Yeah. But listen, because I see we getting up to the 2 hour mark, so you know what I'm saying, I'll get to the that's the thing about this fucking article. There's so much information in there. It took me 25 years to write it. So it's not like I could compress the whole shit, I guess. I'll be trying my best though, but you know what I'm saying? I guess it's
Yeah, I got a lot that I
yeah.
was like, but I'm like, no, this is not
But the thing that I found though overall is I found the ways to regenerate all of your body's different melanin systems. And that's the big thing, the big takeaway, to bring our memories back, to bring our metabolisms back, to bring our muscles back, to bring our motherfucking glowing, our all our shit back. You know what I'm saying? Like to get your health back, to get your immune system back. You know what I'm saying? Like that
Mhm.
that is maybe the bigger that might be the bigger story. I might need to start, focus on the solution a little bit more. But I really highlight the problem so much because, in my mind, I feel like I don't just want to come up. I don't just want to, like, to me, you know, just selling people a product doesn't necessarily fix the fucking problem. The problem is that I need this information to go global. I need everyone to know this shit. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll easily know what the fuck we got to do. You know what I'm saying? But um yeah, we just gotta fine tune this shit and get it to certain exercises we need to do to focus in on what on our body. We need to take advantage of the spring and the summer, um in terms of making sure we get as much fucking sunlight the right way, through our feet, through our eyes, and through our skin. um yeah, we just gotta attack this shit a variety of ways. So I got like a melanin. When people text me, I send them the melanin pharmascription. You know what I'm saying? Like the melanin pharmascription. Like, okay, follow these steps. Here's the information. Learn this, bop, 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 bop. Then these are the herbs, the diet, the food, eat this, do that, work out like this. Like, here's the whole fucking program. But that comes at the end of you getting this information. You know what I'm saying? First, I need you to sit the fuck down and study. And if your health or your loved one, your mama, your father, if your health or your family's health is not worth you sitting down and doing 2, 3, 4 days worth of studying, then you don't deserve your health. Like, your health is the most craziest form of wealth that you can have. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not willing to fight for that,
It's the only true wealth.
yeah, that's it. None of this other shit even makes sense. Niggas will sit in college for 4 years to learn nothing, get a fucking degree and work in Walmart. And they won't sit down for a week straight to study about their body. Niggas will sit in the fucking, niggas will watch 1,000 how-to YouTube videos to learn how to work fucking Fruity Loops, but they won't spend 3 days to learn how to work their fucking body. Like, nah, man, we gotta prioritize this shit. Ain't no motherfucking there's
Yeah,
no
like
superfood. There's no one herb that you're just gonna take and it's just gonna somehow wipe every fucking thing out, bro. Anybody that's giving you that kind of info, they're just selling you shit.
after, and that's what I'm saying. That after consistently day after day, year after year, eating improper foods, doing improper activities since birth, and then you're 40, and then you want a super overnight remedy for something it took you 40 years to pack into your digestive system to, you know, bring illnesses into your body, to get the mucus in your system, to get the deficiency of vitamin D and this, that, and the other. And then you think it's like, well, I'm finna go take a jog, take this pill, and I'll be bouncing back like it's nothing, man. No, it's gonna take some commitment, as much commitment as it took for you to get in this position to get out. But
Facts.
you will get miraculous results if you stay obedient. It will be worth it to you, I promise, man. You know, man, I know we hold you, man. We done held you, man. I got you like this, big dog.
Hey, we just got to come back in another couple of weeks and go back into it, man. We got to keep tapping.
That's what we gonna do.
We get,
That's what we gonna do, man. Text 586-298-5000. Text it. Come on, man. It's on you. Anything else you want to say?
yeah, go get that information. Yeah, text me. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, everybody that watched this video needs to go get the article, copy and paste the whole fucking article to your Facebook, Twitter, Tweeter, Instagram, put that shit on your blog. If you got a website, put it on your website. If you got a platform, hit that text and book me on your motherfucking platform. Like, do everything that's in your power to get this information out there with me, because this is how we change the world. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to steal it and then reflip it and bounce it yourself. Hit me up and let me represent my own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do this the right way. Even when you join a multi-level marketing fucking company, what they tell you, don't you try to explain the business. Just get the people interested and send them to me. Let me represent the business. You don't know what the fuck you doing. This ain't your information. So Why would you think something as simple, as intricate and as complex and as delicate as as your body, as your health, as your life, you could try to hustle it or flip it and bounce it overnight? That's not it. That's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? Don't mistake the gold teeth and the gold chain for the 3 fucking decades that I have only been doing this one same thing. I have only been studying, teaching this same thing forever. Don't confuse me with these other niggas you see online that's teaching health on Monday. They teaching chakras on Tuesday. On Wednesday, they teaching polygamous relationships. On Thursday, they doing nation building. On Friday, they talking about Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? On Saturday night, they having a debate about, is the Bible real? Like, nigga, I'm not them motherfuckers. Ever since you niggas seen me, I've been doing this same fucking thing, period. At work, in the fucking lab, trying to figure this shit out. And niggas is like, I just, I praise God, and I thank all the people that stick through there with me, because y'all are a part of these discoveries. The motherfuckers that say, oh, Enqi sent my shit late, this, that, and the other. Yeah, because Enqi was up probably fucking late at night with the 5 children and 5 or 6 fucking encyclopedias and textbooks trying to put this together to change the fucking world. So you can act a fucking fool and think that you withdrawing your support. But when you do that, nigga, you hurt everybody, because nobody else could do this shit that I'm doing. Nobody else could do this shit that I'm doing. And I can't do this shit without your support. So everybody, it's a butterfly effect. We kill motherfuckers and we let motherfuckers die these last 3 years because niggas hate. Niggas don't want to share the fucking information. Oh, nah, fuck that. I ain't letting Enqi come up. So we get 2 categories of niggas. Niggas that's like, fuck that. I ain't sharing Enqi shit. Or niggas that want to steal my shit and flip it and bounce it like if it's their information. Oh, I was researching online and I found out that melanin was responsible for the ACE2 protein. No, you was not researching online, nigga. You was watching Dr. Enqi. You was not researching online. Stop fucking lying and telling people that shit. You was watching me. Get the fuck out of here. I was researching online, nigga.
You was watching somebody research online.
You was watching niggas. You was watching me research, nigga. And then these niggas don't even support. It's not even like these motherfuckers that's making a name for themselves, that's making a business for themselves with the shit they learned from me, is turning around saying, here, OG, we want to make sure you good. Keep doing that thing you're doing. Here's 300, here's 500. I'm coming up. So, and I'm coming up based on shit I'm learning from you. So let me make sure that I send something back so that as the source of my information, you could keep coming up with shit. Because if I know that I'm winning from a nigga coming up with shit, I want to make sure that he could keep coming up with shit.
That. It's like, duh.
Man,
I still hate you. I'm gonna steal from you, but here, keep going.
I keep doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, niggas don't understand. You undercut me, you undercut you. You steal from me, you steal from you. And even worse, you steal from your babies, because this is to save our future generations from this fucking genocide we living in.
Yeah. We need this information, people. We really do, man. It's serious. This ain't no game. This ain't no game. We need this information. You could see the difference in a generation. If we paid attention to this, if this went viral, if this became part of our religious, culture, how we need basketball, and you ain't got no J's on, and what's up with your? If we get this in our life, you can see a change in one generation.
Man, and look, it's free to do, Suave. Wait a minute, it's free. It should take less than
everything you spend goes directly back into you.
Yeah. And to share the fucking article ain't nothing. Copy, paste, post. Boop. Copy, paste, post. Boop.
That's a fact. And he, like he said, he been doing it, and this is what he's been concentrating on. 40-day fruit fast, soul craft. Now the melanin versus diabetes, electromagnetic, and those are just a couple of chips off the block. So, man, shout out to you, man. Strength to you. We gonna keep this going. We gonna blow this up and rotate this around the world, man. the undeniable Dr. Enqi, everybody, man. Shout out to you. I appreciate your presence, big dog. Shout out to Knowledge Born Allah. Y'all already know, man.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Appreciate the platform, man.
We out. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. Did put that title in there. And yes, Hood Therapy. Even you. So shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Pro Black of the AOI. Shout out to you, man. Gold Man, Brandon Bay, Holly, Wicked, Radical, Ampru, man, Ground Zero, and my queen, Hurricane Katrina, the King James 13, Anti-Bully Inc. This has been another episode of the Argument League. Make sure y'all get that link out there. Melanin versus diabetes and electromagnetic tissue, man. It's a study amongst you melanin dominant people, right? He breaks down all of these studies on medical and health is based off of you melanin recessive people. And so we just don't get the same results as them, you know? All the things that give us the results we looking for actually endanger them. Actually is toxic to them, which isn't a bad thing. We're not attacking them, but we both got to understand that we have to respect each other's way that we were set up biologically to live. You need more of these things, the blood and the meat, and we need more of the equatorial fruits and vegetables. It's just a relationship we gonna have to. So shout out to y'all, man. It's the boy Swab Boss, man. AOI up, AOI always up, man. Shout out to Solar Mind, Solar Vision Debate League, snapping off entertainment being on the track, man. It's been another episode, man. And make sure y'all mess with Word Sport Battlegrounds, Rio and Cozy. The 26th this month is going down. It's been another one. Black Power. We out. Where is it at? I'm affiliated. I'm affiliated. I'm affiliated. I'm affiliated.